Now, a service means that we're ultimately going to probably need to learn a new skill in order to offer that to different businesses that we work with. And so when we're picking a skill that we're going to learn, we want to make sure that it's something we can learn in a matter of a couple of weeks so that we can really get started as soon as possible. And then there are 3 other criteria that are really important to keep in mind when we're picking this side hustle, right? We want to make sure that the skill we're picking is super in demand. We also want to make sure that it is high ticket, meaning that the cost of our services is going to be, thousands of dollars basically every time that we plug into a business and work with a client. And we want to make sure that it offers a certain optionality where we're not pigeonholed or stuck within a given vertical, and we can work with all different types of businesses and business owners. When we're picking this new skill that we're going to learn so that we can then offer it as a service, it's also really important to keep in mind that we want to pick something that is naturally interesting to us. We want to make sure that it's going to be exciting and something that we enjoy doing, because that is going to make us so much more effective in our day-to-day. And we also want to try and pick something that naturally aligns with what we are already good at, because that is going to make us more effective, but it's also going to make it much easier and more exciting for us to learn this new thing and to continue learning it, even as we start working with our first, second, and third clients. So for me, the skill set that I actually chose when I first got started on my side hustle journey, and it's funny to think that this was like 10 months ago because the time has absolutely flown by, I decided that I was going to do no-code automation, which might sound like a handful of words, but let's break it down. So I am sort of a creative type by nature, meaning that what I really enjoy doing is identifying a problem and then thinking through it and trying to come up with a solution that might be non-obvious. And so with the work that I do as a consultant, I will work very closely with a business owner. Let's say it's a lawyer who will bring me in and say, hey, every time we onboard a new client, we want to make sure that we're sending out a retainer document, or that we're signing an NDA, or that we're gathering a bunch of documents. And so then what I will do after sitting with this business owner is turn around and say, okay, and I'll draw out a system, like a set of procedures that we want to follow in order to accomplish the thing that we're there to do. And then at that point, once I understand what the system is supposed to look like, I will use a bunch of no-code tools like Make.com or Zapier or Airtable in order to implement the idea that I have come up with. And naturally what tends to happen is that once we set up one automation for a business owner, they will turn around and be like, oh my God, I didn't even realize that this was possible. Now I want you to focus on my sales funnel or on our operations or help our key HR person with this thing. It just seems like the work never really ends, and our clients tend to come back month over month over month. And so beyond just actually doing the work, one of the things that I enjoy most about consulting and automation consulting is that every time I work with a given business owner, I am getting to they're basically spilling all of the beans. They're sharing all of the secrets with me about their business model and the way that they make money, the areas that they identify day to day where there's friction. And I absolutely love that. The second big thing that we discussed is we want to make sure that our skill set is high value, meaning we want to make sure that every single deal that we close is going to be worth ideally thousands of dollars. And in my case, the work that I do as an automation consultant is really high ticket. And what I mean by that is, in some cases, so we want to find a skill set where that dynamic is very, very present, right? With all the work that we do, we know that we are creating more value than the cost of our services. Whenever we do that, then we are golden, because it means that a client will be naturally incentivized to keep us around and to continue working with us month over month over month. And so it actually becomes more important not to go out and find new clients, but just to retain the ones that we already have. And not having to be worried about finding new clients frequently or every month or every 2 months, it's an absolute luxury. And when we are just getting started, what's so exciting is that we have all of these opportunities available to us. We could choose to go down any number of different paths, and that's where we want to just keep these things in mind, because it can make our lives so much better if we choose the right thing. And the third big criteria that we want to keep in mind is we want to make sure that whatever we're doing affords us a certain optionality. And what I mean by that is we're not going to be stuck working with just accountants or just lawyers or just plumbers. We want to be able to service a very wide range of different business owners. That way, if something happens in the real estate market, let's say, and we were just niched all the way down and we were only able to work with real estate businesses, well, real estate's a big enough market that we probably don't need to worry about it. Let's say that we were only focused on working with trucking companies. Now, that might seem super random, but if something happened to the trucking industry, then all of a sudden the skill set that we were able to offer would otherwise not be very in demand, right? And we kind of put us back at square one, where we might all of a sudden have to look around and pick up a new skill set, start offering a new service. I think the real way for you to find the right side hustle is to sit down for a moment without your phone or your computer or anything like that, no distractions, and have an intellectually honest sort of dialogue with yourself about what you're good at, what you enjoy doing, where your weaknesses are, what you want out of this. Do you want to make $5,000 relatively passively? Are you looking to maybe work really hard and make $25,000, $30,000, $50,000? You are ultimately going to have to make certain decisions, and these decisions are really important because when you're just getting started, it can ultimately dictate, based on the skill set that you choose to learn, like the outcome. And that